Hello, here's part 5 of this modeling series. My name is Brian Rocks, and today we will be going over the spin and the spin duplicate tools. I went ahead and modeled the pieces that we're going to be using for this tutorial. I modeled this section here, which will be duplicating this panel around. Modeled the center area, which will be adding detail with a couple of copies of this. And then the engine nozzle, I modeled this flap here, which will duplicate around to give the engine some detail there. Now let's start with how this works first. The spin tools works around this center cursor here. So it's going to control 1 to go into back view, and just go ahead and you can just left click anywhere just to put the cursor off center a bit. Select this panel up top here and tab in edit mode, and then make sure all the vertices are selected. And then over here you can use Alt R or just click the button and it will spin the object around, and you can see it's going around where this cursor is at, and no matter where you have it, whoops, and it's just going to go around that cursor. So if you want a good clean circle, you just want to make sure that your cursor is going to be in the center of where you're spinning. And also the spin is view dependent as well, so if you put the view off kilter and hit spin, you get this awkward arc here because it's spinning around the center point perpendicular to how your view is set. So undo that. So to do this, I'm gonna tab into object mode and select this panel here in the center, and then Shift S to center the cursor there. Control 1, go into back view, and then go ahead and select this panel. And now let's start using this tool to add the detail here. Tab in edit mode and make sure all those vertices are selected, and then click spin, and you can see you have this solid object here. When you do click spin, it brings up all the options for the spin tool, and what we want to do is just have copies of this instead of a solid circle. So to do that, just click the duplicate box here, and that will duplicate it, and you can see right now there's 9 duplicates going 90 degrees around the center point. So we can go ahead and do 360 here. Now you can see you have 9 of these, and we only want 6. I'm just going to go down to 6, and there you go. You got all the duplicates here. I'm going to hit A to select everything, and then we can do remove doubles. And up here you see it removed 44 vertices, because when you duplicate the object around that center point, that last one is a copy of the first one that you did. So it's just, you'll have 2 of them here, and when you render it, you get some weird black artifacts there. So you want to make sure you remove any duplicate vertices to clean it up. So you can tab out, and you can see we have the detail there. Go back to control 1, and now let's do the same thing with this here. And you can see I just modeled it and just set it apart for the time being. So let's go and move this guy in here, and this is going to actually be just these pieces right around the edge here. So let's just move this in. And it's just going to be flush up with this inside edge here. but I haven't closed off, I haven't put the backing along this edge, so we'll just match it up along this line here. Control 1 again, go in back view, and just bring this down. And we're going to want to resize this here a little bit. Let's see. Actually, undo that. Just object mode and just scale it down. And bring it down here. See how far that goes in. About like that. Now it looks good. And now we want to put this cursor back, so I'm going to select this object here and then Shift S, cursor to selected. Now we can duplicate this guy around here. Actually, first let's do this. Let's copy, select the pivot point to your 3D cursor. With this selected, Shift D to duplicate, and then I'm going to wire mode here and scale it down. Let me do this. Go back here to the median point and scale it down. Move both of these in. Alright, now we want to actually just move this up, say 45 degrees around the edge here. And with that smaller one selected, just hit R to rotate. Oops, go back to your pivot point to the 3D cursor, so we're rotating around that. And just hold the control down. For some reason it's snapping on me. Just hit R, 45, and enter. And then we'll duplicate that around as well. So actually select both of these and Control J to join them together. A to have all the vertices selected. And then go ahead and hit spin. And then check the duplicate box and make that 360. And we want to bring this down to 4. And then A to get all those selected again, and then remove doubles. And there you have that. Easy as that. Then we'll get the backing in here, and it'll close that all off. Okay, and then one more exercise with the duplicate we'll do, and then we'll use just the spin without the duplicate. This is go over here to the engine. And I select this outer ring here and then Shift S to move the cursor over to the selected. And select the nozzle flap. And Control 1 to go back in the back view. Now this is a little different. I'll tell you how to model this real quick. I needed 12 of these. So I created a circle with 24 points, and then I deleted everything except these two, and then you can see I cut a little bit off the edge and then extended these little guys out here. And so when I spin this 12 times, these edges here are going to match up. I just use the amount you want. I always make a blank and then duplicate it and then model around that, so I'm still matching the edges here, so when I do spin it, they're all gonna line up just the way I want it to. Now go into back view again, select that flap and go into edit mode and select all those vertices. And then go ahead and spin that and hit duplicate box and 360, And we need 12. And you can see that they all meet up here on the edge. There's a little overlap because I didn't angle these in at, this bottom part. Actually, that looks a little long, so I might have extended them a little bit. But no problem, because I was going to put a another detail in here that would cover that up pretty easy. So let's go ahead and leave that the way it is for now. Tab into object mode. I'm going to select that cursor back in the center, and then go ahead and select all these vertices in edit mode, and then remove doubles. So you have one solid object here. And that's just an easy way to actually just make a lot of detail real quick. And now let's do the spin without the duplicate option. So we'll use these two center rings here to do that. It would be easy enough just to create a couple of circles and extrude them in a little bit. But for the sake of the tutorial, we'll use the spin tool to do this. So what we'll do is I want to actually select these. Whoops, I'm going to select that, and we'll select this, and then move this to layer 3, and then go to layer 3 here, so we'll have a little less obstructed views to work with. So what we're going to do, I'm going to move the cursor here to the center. I'm going to Shift A, and we'll add actually we can just add a plane, and then hit S to scale that down. I'm going to rotate this, so R, Y, and then 90, and enter. Let's scale it down here. And Control 1, and see where we need this. Pretty much around the edge here. So grab it along the Z-axis and bring it up. And tab into edit mode, and just grab these bottom two, and we'll get the thickness. Yeah, we'll do that. And yeah, select all those vertices, and then Shift D to duplicate, and then G, and then Z to grab it and bring it down for the second ring. And that one looks like it's just inside of these other guys here. So let's see. I'm going to just hit R to rotate a little bit. Okay, that looks good. So we'll just actually grab these last vertices and bring them up. This is a little long way to do something as simple shape as just a couple of rings, but you'll see how we can actually make a little more detail with it. Tab into object mode and G and Y, and we'll bring that back. Edit mode, select these, and we'll bring those back as well along the Y-axis. Give it some thickness. And then I'm going to add a little bit of detail here. I'm going to actually select these vertices and delete the edges on that, because we don't need them. Now I'm going to select this, shift select that one, and then hit W and hit subdivide. And do that again, hit W and then subdivide. Now select these three, and so I'm going to switch this to median point so I have some handles to work with. And then you can just drag these out. A little bit of thickness there. And delete this vertex. Select these two and hit F just to close that off. And this one I'll just leave the way it is. Or actually, we can add a little bit of detail. Let's grab these two, then S to scale, and then Z. Bring that down a little bit. And hit E to extrude, and then S to scale that down. Bring that out a bit. Yeah, I don't like that. Go back into side view. Whoops. Undo all of that. And select everything. I'm going to remove doubles. I think I got too many. There we go. Yeah, we'll just leave it as it is like that. So A to select everything there. Go back here to my back view and go ahead and hit spin. And all you need to do is 360. And then you can just increase this to give it, cut those flat edges out. I'm going to just do 24. And select all those vertices and remove doubles. And now you see we have those ring details in there. See, now where the spin tool comes in handy, rather than, we could have just made a couple of circles and done that a lot quicker. I'm going to go into, just going to actually deselect everything, Shift A. I'm going to create a circle here, just default. Get rid of some of these. And then I'm going to rotate this around the same way. R, Y, and then 90. I scale it way down here so we can work with it in the scene we got. And rotate it around a bit here. And now if you have, like, say if you wanted to make a vase or something, you could create the profile of that profile of the object. Remove some of these here. Let's remove all of these. And if you want to make like a vase or something, and create an ugly one here. Okay, this will just be a really ugly bottle. How about that? Alright. Now let's go to the top view actually. I'm going to do this over here. Bring it out a little bit. Since we'll just spin it around all of that here. 360 on this. Increase the, yeah, see now you have an ugly little jug there. See, and that just sort of comes in handy if you want to create something with a really complex profile. You can just create the profile itself and then spin it around that center point. Makes it handy to do something real detailed, and you don't have to work with a lot of vertices. Just that one edge. You're just working with the detail along that edge. It makes that handy. So let me delete that out. Okay, we got all the detail with that there. Okay, now there's one last detail that we can actually do. This vent thing looking thing inside there. I don't exactly know. Can't really tell exactly what shape that is. And we'll just make it up. So I'm going to go, actually select everything that's on this third layer and we'll move it back to layer 1. I'll select this and move this back. Alright, then go ahead and center that cursor to the object again. And we'll add a, let's see. I'll add a circle. I don't know what I'm going to do with this yet. Let's see. R, X, and 90. And let's see, select that circle, Scale that down. And we'll move it back here behind everything a little bit. Control 1 there, go in the back view. I'm going to tab in edit mode. Let's see, I'm going to select all the vertices and then Shift S, and we're going to center that cursor there. E to extrude and then S to scale it down. Into there, and let's see. Yeah, let's do this. I'm just gonna object mode. I'm gonna move this to layer 3. And go ahead and border select pretty much everything. And I'll just leave this. We'll just duplicate that around here. I'm gonna delete all these vertices. Go ahead and just loop cut. Bring that down like that, and I'm gonna top view here. And bring that out. Yeah, we'll see what that looks like. Control 1, go in back view. And tab in edit mode and select all those vertices, and then go ahead and spin and the duplicate box there. 360, and see. Back to 32 where we started with. Go ahead and select all those. I'm going to remove the doubles. I'm going to move it back to layer 1 here. And we got some detail in there. It doesn't look too bad. I'll go ahead and just leave it just like that. Okay, and those were the spin tools. Allows you to do a lot of detail real quick. And the only thing you remember that is view dependent, so if your view is off kilter, it's going to go around the center cursor perpendicular to the screen. And also, actually, there was one more thing that I ran into when I started doing this tutorial the other day. I'm going to go ahead and save this. One thing to keep in mind, I'm going to open this error, one that I had an error with. I'm going to go ahead and just delete all these because I just want to spin that top bit around. Now my phone, when I spun this, it got this weird oblong, you know, oval. If I would have went 360, you'd have just a huge mess. And the only reason that does that is because, go back in the back view, the original object that I started with, I had, you know, created like a circle, and then I rotated it, and I didn't apply the rotation to the object, so it just gets all whacked out when you don't do that. So before you do like a mirror modifier or like the spin tool, just hit Control A, and I just click rotation and scale, and that applies its axis to its current orientation. So, and now when I go to spin this, you get the correct you know, the correct thing you want. So just before you do any kind of weird modifying to an object that you add to your scene, make sure you Control A to apply its rotation or scale. I just do the both because it doesn't hurt anything. So, and that's it for the spin tools. So if you have any questions or comments, please leave them, and thank you for watching.